When we usually think of intelligence, we imagine people with high IQs and exceptional academic achievements. However, intelligence goes beyond just traditional measures and can manifest itself in different ways. Psychology shows us that we can figure out how smart someone is by looking at their behaviors and habits. In the world of personality types, Sigma males are believed to be one of the most intelligent breeds. While this may not be a scientifically proven fact, there are several subtle signs that show their exceptional intellect. Here's why Sigma males are the smartest breed. Number 1. They are constantly asking questions. Curious minds lead the way in intelligence, and asking questions means someone is always thinking and wanting to learn more. They don't just accept things as they are but dig deeper. This is what these men do. They are never satisfied with just the surface level of anything. Whether it's a hobby, a piece of news, or a deep scientific concept, they want to know the why and how behind everything. This makes them quick thinkers. While they are not usually the loudest in the room, their questions always leave everyone thinking. The Sigma male is like that guy who sits at the back of the class, quiet and unassuming, but always has the best questions and insight. He looks like he's not paying attention, but his mind is always working and analyzing everything. They are able to connect dots that others might not see. This questioning mindset helps them solve problems in new and creative ways. It's not just about asking any questions, but the right ones that lead to deeper understanding and insights. Unlike others who might stay quiet just to fit in, Sigma men are not afraid to ask the tough questions that others might avoid. It's like they're detectives in their everyday life, looking for clues to make sense of everything around them. Number 2. They can predict behavior and outcomes. Seeing the future isn't just for movies or magic. Some people have a special skill in guessing what will happen next, especially in how people will act. Sigma males are very smart in understanding people and situations quickly. Their ability to predict what comes next is not about superpowers, but about paying close attention to small details that many of us might miss. They watch how people behave and how things go around them, keeping these observations in mind. Then they use this information to make really good guesses about what could happen next. This skill helps them in many ways. For instance, they can avoid problems before they happen because they can see the signs early on. They also know how to deal with people better because they can guess how someone might react to different things. This doesn't just happen. It comes from their habit of observing and thinking deeply about everything around them. By understanding the world so well, they can make smart choices that keep them one step ahead. This ability is something not many people understand, thinking it's just a hunch or luck. However, to Sigma men, it results from their intelligence and experience. They are like chess players who can predict the opponent's move before they make it. Their analytical minds and intuitive nature make them excellent at reading people and situations. Number 3. They enjoy spending time alone. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. For some, it's when they think best. They find quiet places where ideas flow like rivers. That's why Sigma men would pick solitude over a crowded room. They crave time alone, free from distractions and noise. It's not about disliking people. They just need space to recharge and think deeply. This is where their creativity thrives. With no outside influences, they can let their imaginations run wild and come up with original ideas. They don't need others to stimulate their minds. Their own thoughts are enough. This quality is often mistaken for being antisocial, but that's not the case. Sigma men enjoy social interactions like anyone else, but in moderation. They get mentally drained from too much socializing, especially with shallow small talk. They need meaningful conversations to feel engaged. This is why they prefer smaller social circles, where they can have deeper and more thought-provoking discussions. People may see this as being picky or difficult, but it's just a way of valuing their time and energy. While others may need constant social stimulation, Sigma men are completely comfortable with their own company. They don't need others to fill their time. They're good at being on their own because they make the best of it. These men are quiet, but not silent. Their minds are always busy, thinking of multiple ideas and solutions. Number 4. They're open to hearing different perspectives. There are some people who, no matter how much you explain something, will never see it your way. They have a fixed mindset and can't accept any other perspective, especially if it challenges their beliefs. It doesn't matter how much evidence or logic you present, they won't budge. Sigma males are the complete opposite of this. They are open-minded and want to hear all sides of an argument, whether it aligns with their views or not. They understand there's always more than one way to see something. While they may not agree with everyone, this doesn't stop them from being curious about why someone thinks the way they do. Everyone sees the world differently, and that's what makes it interesting. Sigma men are like sponges, soaking up all kinds of information. They don't just hear, they'd really listen. When someone talks, they pay close attention. This is a big reason why they are so smart. They gather information from various sources, process it, and then form their own opinions. They're not afraid to change their minds if they find a better argument or evidence against what they believed before. Number 5. They are self-critical. Criticism often comes easier from others than ourselves, but being self-critical is a sign of true intelligence. Those who can look at their actions, thoughts, and work with a critical eye tend to grow and learn much faster. This ability to self-reflect allows them to identify not just what they do well, but more importantly, what they could do better. They don't just settle for good enough. They aim for the best they can be. Having this mindset means you're always improving. Sigma men don't wait for someone else to tell them what needs to be fixed. They see it first, and they make the change. This helps them get better at whatever they do, faster than others. It's like they're their own coach, always pushing themselves to be better. This is a big reason why they are seen as smart. They don't just learn from books or teachers, but also from themselves. Being self-critical doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It just means being honest about where you are and where you want to go. This honesty helps you make real changes and achieve your goals. Number 6. They can explain complex things in simple terms. Have you ever preferred a certain friend's explanation over a teacher's? That friend likely had the gift of explaining things in an easy-to-understand manner. Being able to break down complicated concepts into simple terms is of true understanding. It shows that someone can see beyond the technical jargon and get to the core of a concept. Sigma men are not just knowledgeable, but they also understand information on a deep level. They can translate it into something that everyone can grasp easily. This shows they really get the idea. It's easy to use big words, but hard to make something easy to get. These men aim to share knowledge, not just show off how much they know. They listen, understand what you know, and then talk in a way that helps you learn. This isn't just about being smart in books. It's about being smart with people too. By making hard things easy to understand, Sigma males prove they are not just smart, but also kind and helpful. They want everyone to understand, not just themselves. Number 7. They're great at ignoring distractions. Many people find it hard to stay focused because they get distracted easily. But many smart people don't have that problem. They're able to ignore distractions, whether it's a loud noise or an interesting conversation happening beside them. This is because they have strong mental discipline and can control their thoughts and attention. They don't let themselves be swayed by external factors that could interrupt their thinking process. Although they're not immune to distractions, Sigma males notice when it happens and switch back quickly. Of course, this isn't something they were born with, but their alone time is their main training ground. When you're used to being alone, focusing on one thing becomes easier when there are distractions around. This is why they can easily get into a deep state of focus where everything else fades away. They may even ignore calls or messages during this time. which others may see as rude or cold. But for Sigma men, it's necessary for their productivity. We live in a world filled with constant distractions, and being able to ignore them is a valuable skill. Number 8. They aren't afraid to admit when they don't know something. Many people try to hide when they don't know something. They might change the topic or say things that sound smart, but don't really answer the question. This happens because they want to look like they know everything. But trying to pretend you know something when you don't isn't smart at all. You might look smart in the moment, but eventually, people will realize you don't actually know what you're talking about. This not only makes you look foolish, but it also makes others lose trust in you. Sigma males are honest when they don't know something. They won't beat around the bush or make up stories. They simply admit they don't know and then try to find out the answer. They have no ego about it, which is why many people respect them. When you're upfront about what you don't know, without making excuses, it really shows you're confident and mature, so people see you as someone they can trust and rely on.